Good morning, KTBS Facebook. Rick Rowe reporting live from the middle of I-20. Believe it or not, you're looking at the Horseshoe Casino. Let me move this around a little bit. And what you're looking at is a major traffic tie-up on I-20 headed west. I hope you can see it, but there is nothing but trucks. There we go. As far as the eye can see, well, let me correct that. Looking east as far as the eye can see. Looking west, what you're seeing is a situation that really started at about 10 o'clock last night. An 18-wheeler trying to go over the Red River Bridge encountered ice, as we suspected eventually somebody would. It happened at 10 o'clock last night. He jackknifed, and he's still there, stuck on the top of that I-20 bridge. And the problem may be, as I was told by local law enforcement, that he may be stuck there a while, because there's so much ice on the bridge this morning. And let me just tell you this, folks. I know some of you have gotten out, did some driving over the last few days. I understand that, so have I. But it's much worse today. Driving conditions, road conditions are the worst they have been all week long. So the ice on the bridge, I was told by local law enforcement that even tow trucks are having trouble removing that 18-wheeler. That's why it's still there. It's been there since 10 o'clock last night. So you can imagine all of these trucks lined up here have been here since about 10 o'clock last night. And there is no way of knowing how long it will take to remove that 18-wheeler. The word to you is, if you're trying to go west on I-20 from Bossier, Houghton, you're not going to make it. You certainly won't make it past the Red River Bridge, and this could be this way for quite a while. You can see that trucks are lined up for miles. I'm looking east now, back into Bossier, Houghton. They're lined up for miles. Pickup trucks and some private vehicles. And luckily, these guys, these truckers who we love, we appreciate what these guys do. Think about it, folks. Everything you wear, everything you eat, the medicine you take, virtually everything you use daily is delivered by these trucks. So we appreciate what they're doing. We appreciate how hard they work. And it's just a shame that they're stuck here for who knows how long. Some of them, these particular trucks, stuck here since 10 o'clock last night. Now, the other thing I'm going to talk about, as I mentioned, road conditions as bad as I've seen them. The good news is there's not a lot of traffic on local roads. I drove down Airline Drive and Benton Road. I'm sure it's the same way all over Shreveport. I'm being very careful here because the ice has been iced over. So we had snow on Monday. Then we had a little bit of a thaw on Tuesday. Then we had sleet yesterday. And then last night we had a hard freeze, and you can see it. It's amazing how slippery the ice is today. Now, here's the other thing that's going to be incredible, and I'm not sure how this happens, but this is westbound I-20. All right, I'm going to take you over, if I don't fall down, and this is eastbound I-20. Eastbound on I-20. Now, they're going really, really slow. And hopefully they will put as much distance between them and the car in front of them, because conditions are as bad as I've ever seen them, folks. This is I-20 headed east, so you can get from points west if you're headed east. Believe it or not, they're going over the bridge. But if you're trying to go the other way, and that is west from Bossier City, I'll tell you what, even walking around here is a little bit scary, folks. But anyway, if you're going west, trying to get to Shreveport on the I-20 bridge, not going to make it. And it's probably going to be this way for a while. Again, I want you to see, I sure hope these cars are taking their time. Really, really slow. Put a lot of distance between you and the car in front of you, because there is no margin for error, all right? That guy's doing fairly well. He put some distance between himself and the car in front of him. So that's the situation. I-20 East is open, although I apologize, folks. It's Oh boy, I tell you what, you just kind of break through some of this snow and it's amazing. But there's I-20 East, it's open. I-20 West is closed. The roads are as bad as I've ever seen them in my entire life. Grown up here my entire life, I've never seen it quite like this. And today, more than ever, if you can, unless you have to, there's some emergency, stay home. In fact, a lot of you are going to have trouble. Now look at this. There's the roads. This is like ice. Really, really like ice. There's no way to brake quickly without having a real problem. And then you see what's happened here is the ice and the snow and the sleet has been pushed up on the sides of the road, all right? And so that's created a situation that makes it really difficult to drive through. That's what you're going to encounter in your subdivisions. Trying to drive on those, trying to get here from my home this morning was amazing. I don't know how I made it. Thank God for that SUV that I've got. If you've got a low-riding sedan, don't even try. If you've got a truck, that's great. You might make it. If you've got an SUV that rides fairly high, you may make it. But if you're just in a regular 4-door sedan or 2-door sedan that rides rather low, don't even try. Just stay home today. And obviously, if you're trying to head west on I-20, you're not going to make it. There's a similar situation in Ruston. This is what we worried about all week long, that eventually there was going to be an accident. In fact, folks, I can't believe that it took this long to get anything serious. Now, the good news is people were traveling slowly on I-20. So when that truck jackknifed, whatever was behind it had time to brake. That's the good news. They were traveling slow enough. And I've told people all week long, whatever the speed limit says, cut it in half. In fact, I don't think I've driven more than 20, 25 miles an hour all week long. Big chunks of ice on the road. You can see that's westbound. How in the world, eastbound, still flowing. I don't know how in the world that's happened, but there it is. You're right, Kathy and Anthony. This is the day to stay home. It's going to be hard, folks, to be honest with you. I tried to walk my little dog yesterday, and it was tough. In fact, she just turned around and came home. And you know, they love to be walked. That's like going to Disneyland for them. But she got out in this snow and this ice and said, I want to go home, Dad. So we just turned around. It's going to be difficult just to walk in your neighborhood today because the way the sleet and the snow of the last several days has piled up on the sides. So again, those of you who are tuning in a little late on Facebook, this is the situation. This is the traffic street entrance and exit off of I-20, Traffic Street in Bossier City, where about 10 o'clock last night, an 18-wheeler entered onto I-20, was approaching that incline on the bridge over the Red River, encountered ice, didn't make it, jackknifed, and he is still there. In fact, I was talking to a policeman just a few minutes ago who said even industrial tow trucks can't move him because the ice, they can't maneuver on top of that bridge. So this situation, which has been like this since 10 o'clock last night, no one really knows how long it may stay this way. So these truckers, and we love our truckers, guys, and appreciate them. They've been in their cabs all night long. I've also seen some private vehicles that have been abandoned. People trying to get on I-20 sometime, probably last night, realized they weren't going to make it and walked away from their cars. There's some of that going on as well. So incredibly, the eastbound lane is open. But my goodness, folks, if you're headed east on I-20, please, please, please slow way down. It's over there. I've seen traffic. Slow way down. And most of all, put a lot of distance between you and the car in front of you. So in case that car has to slow down suddenly, you have some time to slow down, to tap those brakes very, very gently so you don't get into a slide. That's a good question. I've noticed several of you have asked the question, where's the salt and the sand trucks? I did see some on Monday. I saw them sanding and salting some bridges. Since then, this is just me, I haven't seen them. I don't know why. I don't know what that's all about. I did see them making attempts to salt and sand at least one bridge, but since then, I haven't seen them. That doesn't mean they're not there, all right? I don't want to jump to any conclusions. I'm just telling you, I've been out every day. And I have not seen any of the sand or the salt trucks. I have seen, certainly on Monday, saw a lot of Department of Transportation folks out, saw a lot of their pickup trucks, and I think they were doing what they're supposed to do. But since then, haven't seen a lot of that. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I just know I don't think these bridges are safe. I know they're open. Essential personnel, emergency personnel, I get that. I do not think they're safe. I drove over the I-20 bridge on Monday morning and wished I weren't there. That's how scary it was. Anyway, that's the situation. I'll sign off here. For those of you who are coming on late, this is I-20 westbound at Traffic Street in Bossier. Traffic has been stalled here since 10 o'clock last night. An 18-wheeler jackknifed as it approached the Red River Bridge, and traffic has been stopped ever since. I've been told that they've even tried to move the truck with an industrial tow truck. That would be a truck designed to move these big, heavy 18-wheelers. And he couldn't do it. That's just what I've been told. I don't have firsthand knowledge. But it does appear to me that it may be this way for a while. Let me turn back around. I'll show you what's going on back there. Traffic Street entrance ramp headed over the I-20 bridge. I hear you, Angela. There is no salt left. They said that may be true. That makes sense to me. Maybe they ran out of sand and salt. That's certainly possible. No one imagined that this thing would go on. We just don't have things like this happen very often, as you know. But that's the situation right now. The roads are the worst I've seen them all week long. A lot of you are not even going to be able to get out of your subdivision unless you have a really good four-wheel drive, snow tires, or one of those high lifter, those trucks that ride really, really high. If you've got a regular sedan, not going to make it, wouldn't even try. I-20 West, Traffic Street, looking west into Shreveport, closed down since 10 o'clock last night. I hear you, Sherry. Good for you. Sherry says she wishes she could bring the truckers breakfast. I'm sure they would love to see you, Sherry. Good for you. Appreciate your heart. Just going to walk up here. Now somebody is mentioning a fire. I see smoke, and you probably can see smoke as well. So I'm just going by what I'm seeing here. There is smoke. Somebody has mentioned on Facebook that there might be a fire. Obviously that's looking east back into Bossier City. And right now I'm stuck on this bridge or on this I-20, so I'm not privy to any real information, but yes, I see the smoke. I don't know what that's all about, but this is the situation. And here we've got private vehicles here. They come up and see if they want to talk to us. Hello. It's a tough situation. Hey, my brother. Hey, buddy. Hello. Hey, buddy. My name is Rick Rowe. I'm reporting live on Facebook for KTBS, local TV station here in town.
Yes, sir.
Looks like you're from Texas?
Well, actually, I'm from Florida. I'm headed to Texas.
Headed to Texas, okay. Well, oh, and how long have you been stuck here?
Since midnight last night.
Since midnight.
Yes, sir.
So you guys slept in your car
Yes.
with your two dogs?
My one dog.
One dog. Buddy, my heart goes out to you. So sorry.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any idea how long it's going to be?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Nobody's been here to tell us or anything. We don't know what's going on.
No. Well, here's what I do know. An 18-wheeler jackknifed on the bridge. It's stuck there.
Okay.
What I've been told by local law enforcement is that the ice is so bad on the bridge that even the tow trucks that are designed for big, heavy trucks can't move it.
Okay.
So I don't know what the solution is. I'm sure that we've got people working on it.
Okay.
But I'm so sorry that you had to spend the night in your truck, brother.
Yes.
That's tough. Golly.
Yeah.
Your dog's okay? You got food, water? You guys okay?
Well, we don't have no food, you know.
No food.
No food.
Okay.
I'm a diabetic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to get out of here.
Yes, yes, yes. And you were headed, what, to Dallas maybe, or?
Corsicana.
Corsicana. Okay. All right. And obviously there's a hotel right over here. Do you see it?
Yeah, I tried to get into a hotel, but they were booked.
All booked up, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I have money and everything.
U.S. Army? I see your jacket. Army?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, a lot of the people on Facebook are saying prayers to you, and
Thank you.
so sorry about your situation. Golly. So, been here and don't know how long you're going to be here.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So sorry, brother. Really wish you well. Praying for you.
Thank you.
And tell you what, as soon as might be able to help you find something. My car is down there, but you don't know of any hotels that might be open, right?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay. Now, being a diabetic, that means you have to eat, right, at certain times to control your blood sugar, right? And when do you need to eat?
In a couple of hours.
Couple of hours. Okay. Okay. Well, I could definitely bring you some food, and I certainly will do that.
I'm fixing to take my medication right now.
You are? Okay. Wow. Again, brother, sorry. So sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Wish you well, my brother.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, that's the situation, guys. Golly. Tough. Tough, tough, tough. And there are cars and motorists like that, I'm sure, lined up. You can see it all the way back. There it is. Lines of trucks and some private vehicles. Now these trucks, thank God for them, they are, they're used to sleeping in their vehicles and eating in their vehicles. But not for this period of time. This has got to be tough. Really got to be tough. And then you can see the private cars here. They're in a real situation. This fella's been stuck here on I-20 traffic street exit entrance since about midnight last night. Tried to get a room. There's a hotel right here, the Quality Inn. It's booked. You're right. I'm going to get them some food. I promise you that. Some coffee, hot chocolate, whatever they want. But this is going to be a tough situation for these folks, because there's no telling how long it'll be like this. Like I said, now again, I'm reporting to you what I have been told. But I was told by local law enforcement that the truck had jackknifed right at the entrance to the I-20 bridge because of the ice. And this traffic has been stalled here since then, since 10 o'clock last night. The other thing I was told was that even the tow trucks are going to have real trouble moving a vehicle like that because of the ice. And here's the other thing. Look at this. That's I-20 East. Now those are tree cutters. They're designed to clear trees off of power lines. And you can see them headed east. That's the eastbound lane. All right, so eastbound on I-20 is open. And these are emergency vehicles. These are essential vehicles. I totally get why they're there. They should be. These are the guys that are going to restore power and get us back to normal. There's a lot of them. Thank God for them. So the eastbound I-20, as best I can tell, is open. But I'm not saying it's something you ought to try unless you absolutely have to, because it is as icy as I've ever seen it. And I'll show it to you again. Look at this. And that is really slick, folks. I'm going to see if I can show you. Apologize for this camera. Just trust me, really, really slick. Difficult to walk on, really difficult to walk on, and even more difficult, I would imagine, to drive on. And yet, there they are. You can see them. Quite a few vehicles driving east on I-20. Really, really slow. If you have to do it, folks, obviously drive slow. And put distance between you and the car in front of you. I really worry about this. I got to tell you, I don't like seeing this. At some point, somebody's going to get in trouble, and that's probably going to shut down that lane as well. For those of you just tuning in, we are looking east on I-20. I'm looking east into Bossier. This is the traffic street exit. All right, this is actually the westbound lane of I-20. Shut down since about 10 o'clock last night when an 18-wheeler jackknifed approaching the I-20 Red River Bridge. And I think a lot of us suspected this would happen eventually, and sure enough, it has. Tough situation. For the truckers, who we appreciate, some of the hardest working people on the planet, everything we eat and wear and use is transported by these guys. And they are stuck, some of them, since 10 o'clock last night. These private motorists here just had a visit with this fella headed to Corsicana, headed west into Texas. He's been stuck here, slept in his car overnight, just he, his wife, and his dog. Tried to get a room over at the Quality Inn. Just like with Jesus, there was no room at the end. They are booked up. I suspect that's the way it is at most of the hotels in town. You know, you're right. Somebody on Facebook has suggested a snowplow. I totally agree. But we need them so seldom. And they're probably busy up north, more than likely. But yeah, you're right. We could use a few, couldn't we? Yeah, and you know, the other issue, as you just mentioned, one of the folks on Facebook, yes. What happens when they run out of gas? That's going to be a real issue here. For the trucks, but I think they're prepared for it, but for these folks, the private vehicles here, this fella has a Virginia license plate. The fellow I talked to a little while ago is from east headed west. Somebody mentioned a fire. You might be able to see in the back. There is some smoke back there. I'm looking back into the Bossier City area. There is smoke, so there appears to be some kind of fire back there in Bossier. I don't know what it is. If it's a vehicle, if it's a building, a home, no telling. You know, Keisha, I don't know if Texas Street Bridge is open or not. It has been open all week long because I reported from there, and it may be open. They have kept the bridges open, and I think it's for essential folks, people involved in healthcare, and obviously law enforcement. But I can't recommend it. I really can't. Now, I know there's a lot of you who work in Shreveport who have to get back to Bossier. I understand that. Some of you may have to spend the night wherever you are. There's no way of knowing how long this is going to continue this way. All right, somebody says the day's in. Again, I'm just reporting to you what somebody just posted on Facebook. But I do see the fire. I do see the smoke. And somebody just said it was the day's in Bossier City that may have caught fire. That's not official. That's just what someone is telling me now. There's a guy that's been sitting in his truck since probably midnight last night. He might even be sleeping, I don't know. Tough situation. But here's the good news, folks. Warmer weather is coming this weekend. I think by Sunday, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s. So this too will pass. This too will pass. The sun always eventually rises and things get better. And this will get better. It's going to be a tough few days though, has been already. It's kind of exciting at first and now not so much. Now we just want it to kind of go away. We've had enough. That's why we live in the South. That's why we love living in the South in Louisiana, because we don't see this on a regular basis like they do up north. They can have it. Oh boy. Wow. Now again, I'm telling you what I'm encountering, but just walking on what appears to be snow and ice but it's frozen. So occasionally my feet will cut through and break through the ice. For those of you who are just tuning in, all right, there we go. Looks like, and you're seeing the same things I'm seeing, folks. Apparently someplace, someone mentioned it might be the Days End in Bossier City, has caught fire. We did notice the smoke earlier. And there you can see the smoke from the fire, right there. That's looking east into Bossier City. Yeah, I agree. New York, come get your snow. I'm with you. Thank you, Daquilla. Yeah, I agree. This is one of those 100-year storms. I hope it doesn't happen again in my lifetime or yours. This is miserable. Tell you what, though, folks, we're going to appreciate spring, aren't we? We're getting close to March, and those March winds will bring those April showers. Those April showers will bring those late April flowers. Then it's warm and sunny, and life is good again. That's coming. All right? So let's keep the faith. Try to keep your attitude up. Smile. It's going to get better. This too will pass. In fact, as I mentioned, Patrick was saying earlier this morning that by this weekend, by Sunday, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s. How about that? But again, for those of you who are just tuning in this morning, this is the way it looks on I-20. This is the traffic street entrance ramp headed west. And I'll just go back over the story one more time. I know some of you are just now tuning in. About 10 o'clock last night, an 18-wheeler approaching the bridge over the Red River impacted ice. He jackknifed, and he has been there since 10 o'clock last night. So a lot of the trucks that you see here have been here since 10 o'clock last night. Some of these... I'll sign off from now. But again, folks, I'll just reiterate because I know some of you are just now tuning in. This is the westbound lane of I-20. It is closed because of an 18-wheeler that jackknifed on the top of the bridge or near the entrance to the Red River Bridge. Traffic has stopped since 10 o'clock last night.